Mark looks kind of lonely.
Yeah, I am.
Poor thing.
Oh,
I hope,
sorry.
I hope the ghost doesn't get you.
No, I told them not to come in tonight.
Have you built yet?
We just got the plans finished finally, and we put it out to bid. We got 4 contracts.
Nice.
It looks like David's still trying to connect to audio.
I know. When we get this all done, Kristen, will we all get a new copy? When it's completed?
Yes.
Okay. I don't need the notebook. I still have the last one.
Well, that's good. You might be the only one.
Wow. I bet Francis has it.
Oh, that is true.
Somewhere.
Still showing David's audio like it's just kind of trying to connect.
I know. Why don't we have your picture, Ashley?
I just turned it off
Why?
just because.
Oh, that's not very nice.
You're not missing anything.
I am. You could have your boys parade in front and I could see how much they've grown.
Hey, David, can you hear us?
Okay. Okay.
Oh, is he? Hold on. Hold on. Let me allow him to talk.
Okay.
I didn't know who it was, so I didn't.
You just
Actually, let me promote him to panelist. Oh, it's not letting me promote to panelist.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
Yeah. Very good.
I think we got him. That's David, right?
Yeah.
Well, we can hear you.
You can't see me.
Hi, Ed.
Hello.
Hi, Ed.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but what?
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, but you have an echo going on about 5 times.
That's because I had you on my iPad and now I have you on my phone.
I
Can you
see.
hear me now?
I see. Change the channel.
Okay.
Hey, Ed,
Yeah.
I think if you close out whichever
What's that?
one you're not using, you won't get that feedback.
No, well, I'm trying to get out of I was on my iPad, now I'm on my phone, but I'm getting through with you on. Okay, you good now?
Yep.
Yes,
Hello?
yes.
Okay.
Kristen, I resent David the panelist invite. Lindy, that's you.
Me.
Hmm.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hmm.
So now I feel better.
Hello?
There he is.
David.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't have video. I would like to call the July 9th, 2020 meeting of the Town of James Island Planning Commission to order. This meeting has been noticed in compliance with South Carolina Freedom of Information Act. I'd like to make a motion for approval of the June 11th, 2020 minutes. Is there a second?
Second. Ed.
All those in favor say aye.
Hi.
Motion passes. Any public comment? All right. The Planning Commission will discuss annex additions and updates. Well, staff comments. So there's staff comments.
No.
All right. Planning Commission will discuss any annex additions and updates to the Town of James Island comprehensive plan in a workshop type setting or on Zoom. Kristen, you want to go ahead?
Yes. I think what I'll just do is share my screen, and I'm sorry, David, you can't see it. And
Well, I do have you on my personal computer, so I can
Oh,
see
okay.
you.
Okay. Okay, so you'll be able to see it. So
Yeah.
sorry about all the different colors. I just thought it would be easier to keep our different revisions in order. So since our last meeting, we got some updates from some different entities, and so I put all those in pink. And then I also added all of the comments that you guys had from the last meeting in pink as well. And since I sent the packets out, we had a few more additions. Carta sent some additions in, so that is all in green. And so we could just, I'm going to share my screen. Let me get this off. Ashley, let me know what I need to do to,
It's not, have you hit share screen yet?
yeah, it just says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, well, hold on.
And it's fine. I mean, I don't have to because everybody has a copy, I think, if it's.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
We do hit it again.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Can y'all see that?
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So unless you tell me to stop, I'll just scroll through to the pink and green revisions and just kind of go over those briefly, if that's okay with y'all.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. So we updated the new zoning and boundary map right here. That's our newest version. Should be pretty updated. Of course, that changes a lot. I was thinking here we should, since this is a future land use map, maybe we should add in the Folly Road corridor overlay future land use maps for reference in this area. So I'll do that for the next time.
Great.
And we'll update the business license data soon. So I'm still waiting on the wording regarding the wood stork, because I think that when I emailed DNR and they did agree that, like you said, Bill, that it's not endangered anymore. And so I'm waiting on Charlotte is a wading bird specialist at DNR, so she's going to give me some wording for that. But she did update the bald eagle section a little bit as well with this wording right here. She didn't seem to think that the nest in Riverland Terrace was a consistent nest, I guess. So she didn't feel like we should add that. And so I added her name down here. And we'll probably get some more info from her too, to add.
And what page are you on? Do you have a page number nearby?
This, it's not really, so we're in section 311. It should say at the bottom.
Yes, I see it.
Okay. There's actually two 311s. And the page numbers need to be corrected as well, but we'll just do that at the very end because it shifts constantly when we edit it. And so one of the natural resource element strategies and times frames was added. Before it just said continue to work to improve the quality of James Island waterways. And with Mark's suggestion, we'd like to add by maintaining the work on the TMDL, the total maximum daily load assessment with the City of Charleston, Charleston County, and DHEC, as well as continuing efforts with the James Island Public Service District to establish pet waste stations in local neighborhoods.
That's great.
And number 6, we'd like to add continue to encourage retention of native vegetation and new developments to reduce the amount of polluted runoff, reduce the need for water, and maintain the suburban character of the town in coordination with the town's newly adopted supplemental stormwater design standards that provide for runoff mitigation by recommending practices such as rain gardens, rain barrels, infiltration trenches, and additional vegetative buffering. Mark is here if you have any questions about that.
Oh, yeah.
Supplemental design standards, stormwater design standards that were just recently approved.
And then you're already putting that into effect.
Let's see. This is all history, so not much is changing there, except for we wanted to add the 2 new historical markers. So it's going to say a roadside historical marker has been erected at Pinckney Park to commemorate Simeon Pinckney, who was born a slave and then later went on to enlist in the U.S. Colored Infantry during the Civil War. After the Civil War ended, Pinckney settled on James Island and purchased 20 acres of land, a portion of which the town's current Pinckney Park is located. A second roadside historical marker has been erected on Dills Bluff Road to commemorate the Battle of Dills Bluff, which was the last engagement in South Carolina during the American Revolution in 1782. And the Town of James Island History Commission has published the Historic Sites of James Island guidebook that is available to the public online and in print.
That looks good.
Yeah, it's great.
And so we wanted to add a cultural resources strategy and time frame of supporting the History Commission's efforts to erect more historical roadside markers. And number 4, continuing such efforts as creating digital resources for maps and tours via smartphone. This element will not be updated until we get some more accurate census data. So I'm just going to scroll through that.
Are you gonna have any census data? It looks like it goes from every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we may not have 2020 census data until, you don't have anything between 2020 and 2010, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So,
So it won't be updated for a while, probably. We did add, there's under housing element strategies and timeframes, Harborview Corridor has already been improved. So affordable housing opportunities should be utilized, such as promoting density bonuses for qualified affordable housing lenders and builders.
Can we ask questions, Kristen?
No.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, what are density bonuses? What are we talking about? What does that mean?
So right now in our residential, single family residential zoning districts, which is what the majority of the town of James Island is, we allow for 3 units per acre. That's our density. And so we do have a clause in our ordinance that if it's affordable housing, that they could have 4 units per acre. And since I've been here, we haven't utilized that. And so it might be good to promote that a little more, you know, for a little bit more of affordable housing options in the town.
So you may be selling a lot that was a third of an acre for $110,000, and now you're selling a quarter of an acre for $110,000.
Yes,
Exactly.
like if someone had an acre and it was like Habitat for Humanity or somebody like that, a qualified lender or builder, then they could subdivide it into 4 instead of 3.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen, this is Cynthia Mignano. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So do they still have to do the 40% coverage density? Like if you had 4 houses on an acre, houses wouldn't be able to cover more than, 40% of that
30%.
an acre?
30%? Yes.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, yes, 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With the, you know, we could always work that out somehow. I mean, that would be an option that, if it's not a subdivision, if it's just the maximum building coverage, which is, I think what you're talking about,
Yes.
we could do, I doubt that an affordable house would go anywhere near that building coverage because it's a lot. But if they needed to, we could, they could get a variance or something for that.
No, I'm liking it. They stay on the 30%.
Yeah, I doubt, I mean, yeah,
Okay,
they would still have to go by that. Yeah.
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kristen, this is Ashley. Is there a minimum coverage?
There's not.
Okay.
Not unless, I mean, I've seen a couple neighborhoods that have HOAs that have minimums, but we don't have a minimum. I know the building code requires certain size windows and rooms for, you know, bedrooms and things like that, but I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Okay.
But we can add, you know, something here if anybody feels like there needs to be more wording, or we can think about it.
This is Cynthia Mignano again. I have one more question regarding this. So with the affordable housing opportunities, we wouldn't be saying you could have an acre and then put 4 units of housing in like a quadplex kind of thing. They would be individual homes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, I'd have to look in the use table and see. I think it might have to be the moderate density zoning district to allow for, I'd have to look and see what would allow for a quadplex or a duplex, but this would meant, you know, separate single family homes.
Okay, thank you for that.
Mhm.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
But those quarter acre lots would cost less than the third of the acre lots, right?
Mhm. Right.
And so that
In
would be
theory.
making it more affordable.
Right, with smaller yards and lot sizes. Mm-hmm.
I think that's good.
Transportation, there's a lot going on in this section. Jeffrey and Lemon Tree roads were paved with pervious asphalt, and so that follows low impact development standards. So that's pretty important nowadays, and Mark can speak to that. We also have Seaside Lane sidewalk is pervious.
Mm-hmm.
So that's in here too, for a little further down.
Yeah, that's correct. We have more pervious paved area than anywhere else in the county currently.
That's pretty notable.
I'm so sorry, Mark, I didn't understand what you said.
We have in the town of James Island more pervious paved areas than anywhere else in the county.
Good.
Yahoo.
That was a grammar error. All of this we went over last meeting. Here we go, Seaside Lane, which is a pervious asphalt sidewalk. So Carta sent some updated information on Route 31. So it says Route 31 provides local circulation on James Island and connects the community to Charleston. Route 31 is a local service operating between the Charleston Visitor Center in downtown Charleston and Battery Island Drive in South Charleston, primarily via Folly Road and Spring and Cannon Street. The route also serves Maybank Highway, Riverland Drive, and Central Park Road on outbound trips only. And there are currently 9 bus stops within the town's boundary, although there are 43 stops serving the island as a whole. I didn't get any numbers for 2014, 15, and 16, but here are some for 2017, 18, and 19. And the BCD COGS Transit Framework Plan identifies Folly Road as a bus rapid transit light corridor. And here's a link to their plan with a recommendation for the BRT light to be able to connect James Island residents with reliable travel times to and from downtown Charleston via Folly Road. And here is Carta's updated Route 31 brochures. And they also wanted to add that the Tri-County Link system serves the area with Route C205 Johns Island, James Island. C205 has multiple stop service between the James Island Walmart and Johns Island, and it features coordinated transfers with Carta Express Route 1. And Carta is also working on a van pool program, real-time signage, solar lighting, installing more shelters, and transit supportive land uses to make transit service more effective. And here's their updated express route brochures. So maybe we should be a little more specific in some of these, and I can work on that. Or if you guys have any suggestions, the strategies and frames and the goals. You know, I see it says support the services provided by Carta, but maybe we could add a couple more specific things that we're working on and they're working on in here. Community facilities. We got some updated data from PSD. The James Island Public Service District provides residential collection services, including weekly curbside collection of containerized refuse and once a week pickup of yard debris, man-made and metal materials. Containerized refuse. How do you say that? I guess so. And yard debris are packed into packer trucks, dump trucks, or transfer trailers for transport to the Charleston County Bees Ferry landfill facility. Per mandate by Charleston County, man-made and metal materials are hauled to the Spring Grove landfill at Palmetto Commerce Parkway. Currently, the Solid Waste Services Department serves over 9,000 homes and businesses on James Island. The Solid Waste Services Department runs an operation with a fleet of 22 vehicles, which includes 5 packer trucks, 2 knuckle booms, 2 transfer trucks with 4 trailers, 4 front end loaders, 7 dump trucks, and 2 pickup trucks. And the department employs 25 employees. So we struck all of the old information. And recycling, we added a new, recycling was under solid waste management. But the PSD requested that we separate it out because I guess they get a lot of confusion thinking that people thinking that the PSD does the recycling. So the Charleston County Environmental Management Department provides biweekly curbside pickup for recycling services. Additionally, the Signal Point Road Convenience Center is a recycling drop site located on James Island. We're still waiting on some updates for department employees and any kind of information like that with the fire department. Law enforcement, we're adding a sentence. In addition, the town has a full-time Charleston County Sheriff's Deputy stationed at Town Hall as of, I guess I should change that to June. I meant July. Yeah. July. In medical care, we struck out Nason Medical Center because that's no longer there, and added, in addition, James Island has several medical clinics such as Doctors Care, as well as numerous medical offices, primary care practitioners, and specialty medicine practices. There are also several veterinary practices located on James Island. Probably gonna ask for Ashley's help to put a little blurb in here about the new James Island Cultural and Community Center. If you don't mind, Ashley.
Definitely, yes.
And because that's in the works right now and it's coming along. So we'll have that updated. Emergency preparedness. So our emergency preparedness plan is updated annually. And the town operates its own municipal emergency operations center during emergency events and coordinates preparation, reaction, and recovery efforts in the town. The town partners with the city of Charleston on sandbag operations for the island. And the town also sponsors various training activities for residents and staff, including CPR and first aid classes. Because James Island is an evacuation zone during a hurricane event, there are no shelters located on the island. There are, however, 15 CARTA emergency shelter pickup locations that will transport residents to a shelter should an evacuation order be mandated. We thought about adding something about pandemics or COVID in general. And maybe a good spot would be right here to maybe add something about how our emergency preparedness plan is going to be updated to address pandemics.
Well, you could maybe flesh out, the different areas that the emergency plan covers. So we already
Okay.
have it has a pandemic plan, an earthquake plan, a hurricane
Okay.
plan.
That's a good idea.
So, and there's, I think, a few more. So maybe just mention all the different plans.
Okay.
But definitely, the pandemic plan will be updated significantly now that we've actually been through one.
All right. I will do that. Okay. Parks and Recreation. The town anticipates adding kayak launches at Brantley Park and Dock Street Park in 2021. So that was just a little added blurb. And I know last time we had some conversations about the schools. And so here they are listed. I think we got them all, but let me know. Murray Lassane, Montessori, James Island Elementary are located in the Charleston County School District on James Island. We have several private schools, James Island Christian Nativity School, First Baptist Upper School, Oakwind School, and Charleston Acceleration Academy. There are also several private daycares and preschools.
Do we have Harborview Elementary in there?
No, and that's where my kids will go. I should write
Let's
that.
get that in there.
If we ever get to go back to school.
Oh, and Styles Point.
Oh,
Dallas Point is in there. It's up. It's in the first one that was listed.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I
Okay.
almost missed it too.
But
my goodness.
is Harborview Elementary in there?
No, that's I need to add that. I'll add that one. My goodness.
No big deal. You got a lot of details you're dealing with.
That's a big one. Okay. That's a little big.
James Island Christian. Oh, you got James Island Christian School. Never mind.
Okay. This was Mark helped me out greatly with this. So I'll read it out under road, sidewalks, and drainage. Future planned road projects include a traffic circle at Fort Johnson Road and Camp Road, a turn lane constructed on Fort Johnson Road at Secessionville Road, which we're getting public input on that. Mark, do you know, should we change that wording?
Yeah, because they're leaning towards a traffic light. Turn lane actually would be more expensive to take out more trees. The traffic light is cheaper and you only take out one tree. So that's what they're leaning towards is a traffic light. There will be turn lanes, but it's going to be a traffic light.
Okay. A dog bone traffic circle at Riverland Drive and Central Park Road and the traffic circle at Riverland Drive and Camp Road is under construction as of June 2020. The town is always working towards a complete sidewalk network. Completed sidewalks include on Camp Road from Fort Johnson Road to Folly Road, Fort Johnson Road from DNR to Folly Road, Dills Bluff Road from Fort Johnson Road to Seaside Lane, Seaside Lane from Fort Johnson Road to Dills Bluff Road, Quail Drive from Harborview Road to the JI Recreation Center, both sides of Harborview Road from North Shore Drive to Fort Johnson Road, and Foxcroft Road from Stillwater Drive to Godber Street. Planned sidewalks are on Camp Road from Folly Road to James Island County Park, Dills Bluff Road from Seaside Lane to Fort Sumter Drive, Fort Sumter Drive from Dills Bluff Road to Harborview Road, Winborn Drive from Dills Bluff Road to Quail Drive and along Quail Drive to the Recreation Center. That's a lot.
Are we still doing the sidewalk on Lighthouse Boulevard?
Yeah, we need to put that in.
Yeah. And then, Regatta Road too.
Oh, yeah, we got it to neighbors.
And
The neighbors.
maybe just, and maybe, planned sidewalks include, because that list is always going to
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
grow.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be ever changing. Okay. I'll get with you, Mark, on those details so I can add them.
Right.
And stormwater, they now have monthly meetings instead of quarterly. Adding and bikeability to Folly Road. And Battery to Beach has been marked along Folly Road. So we added that in there.
Just a question. Is that how you spell bikeability?
Maybe not. Let me see.
Just as an English
Is
teacher,
bikeability even a word?
I don't know that it's,
Maybe add an E.
I think it needs an E. Or you could say improving the ability to walk and bike on Folly Road,
Yeah.
but yeah, not to nitpick. Or maybe maybe it's two words. It looks like it's two. Or I don't know. It was just, I just saw it and it looked weird.
It did look weird. I'll check it out.
Okay.
Roads and drainage, goals, strategies, and timeframes. We're going to add to continue to maintain all street name and traffic signs on town neighborhood streets and roads. Continue to fill potholes and cut vegetation on the right of way when possible, and continue to implement traffic calming measures, speed humps, and signage with neighborhood support. And continue the relationship with Charleston County Sheriff's Office to allow for a full-time deputy to continue to be stationed at Town Hall.
Are they stationed at Town Hall now?
I believe he starts next week, Ashley.
Yes, he should start next week. His start date got pushed a couple weeks.
But stationed there means he'll come and go rather than just stay there, right?
He'll have desk space here. He'll actually report to town hall every day. I'm sure he won't be sitting at his desk a lot, but no, he'll be just in the town, kind of working a 9 to 5, but a little more flexible than ours. If we needed him to come early one mornings because of complaints on school traffic, then we would work it that way. But no, he'll actually be here at town hall.
Okay.
And that's going to be 9 to 5, like Monday through Friday?
He's actually, I think, a little more like 8 to 4.
Okay.
And his name is Deputy Christopher King.
Good.
He was an SRO officer at James Allen Elementary School. So he knows the community pretty well.
Good.
priority investment. Can mark that one out. Continue to implement improvements for town parks. And I think that's
And when
it.
you say you can, when you say you can mark it out, do you mean you're not going to change anything?
Well, number 4 was continue initiating funding program for the construction of a new town hall. So we can strike that one. And I think that was it for priority investment. And I think that's it for edits that we came up with. You guys have any suggestions or comments?
Kristen, I don't want to be picky, and there's probably a reason for this, but in the sidewalks,
Mm-hmm.
is there a reason that the sidewalks they're not proposed from Buxton Bridge to Harbor View Circle? Because that completes getting the sidewalks on Harbor View. There's a gap right there.
Mm-hmm.
After the Buxton Bridge to Harbor View Circle, if someone was trying to walk or run like me, you're on the road. I mean, is there a reason that that's not part of the sidewalk
Plan.
that, from Buxton Bridge to
Mhm.
Harbor View Circle? It's
Mm-hmm.
if you were trying to walk from, it's very dangerous. I don't know if that should be in there.
Mark, do you know anything about that little stretch? I feel like it's been talked about before, but I don't know what the issues were.
Well, the issues are, number one, the marsh is right there on either side, so the right of way, even though there is a proper right of way, it's, 20 feet into the marsh, that causes a problem for engineers and those around. But what I believe is being done is.
You're right. You're right. I used to live in that house on the corner there, so.
What's being done is we're hoping to get some federal funding through hazard mitigation grants to make that bridge bigger, which would increase the size of the causeway as well. Probably just run a bridge all the way from North Shore to the fish camp, and then that would increase the room that we could put a sidewalk all along there. But that's something that's in the, it's not really.
Yeah,
in plan.
I was just curious because I run it and I could, when I, it's sketchy there, but thank you.
I understand completely. That is one of the things, that's the last of the 3 exits off of Big James Island that has not been upgraded. So it needs to be.
And maybe it is a good idea in that section where it says planned, those are planned, but maybe afterwards, maybe something about, future long range goals are to fill in, connectivity gaps, including that one. Maybe we also list out the gap that we have on Fort Johnson Road that we weren't able to complete because of, right away and tree issues. So
maybe we could add a new strategy and time frame with those.
Yeah, I can help put that together, Kristen.
Okay, let me we could also add Harbor View Road on this, since it's our other kind of main road.
Yeah. I remember that stretch there when they did the community trash pickup and all on the sides of the roads. They stopped there. I would always, when I lived there, I did it myself. That stretch from Buxton, just after Buxton Bridge and the fish camp to Harborview Circle. And I don't know why they stopped, but it's
Oh yeah,
whatever.
they had deputies out there last time
Hmm.
while they were picking up trash in that little stretch.
Well, good.
I have a question about the walking paths and the bike paths for that stretch that you're talking about, Ed. Do you think, because it is marsh and we don't want to fill in and pipe and do concrete necessarily, is it even feasible for us to look at something like the wooden bridge that we have on, like, could we do like a, you know what I mean, like a wooden
The one
walk?
on Dill's Bluff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would probably be something. Yeah, because
because
it's wet.
because-
It drops right off into the wetlands. And
yeah, so if you did pilings and did a wooden decking kind of thing, then I would think that would be the least impactful for the marsh, but still give some safety for people walking and biking.
no, that makes sense. And
That is in the city of Charleston. Our jurisdiction ends at the, North Shore.
yeah, I thought that had something to do with it, probably.
It does.
So it would be great if we could reach out to the city and see if perhaps they would be open to something like that. It would be beautiful. It would look so pretty and add to the charm and add to the safety for sure.
That's the reason it's called Harborview Road, I think, because of that stretch.
Yeah.
That would be a really nice amenity.
I can add that maybe as a, in that sentence somewhere.
Yeah, that would be great. That what we would like to see is, you know, a wooden
Boardwalk.
walkway on pilings that would not impact the view, but would add to the safety of pedestrians and bikers in this area.
Okay.
I think.
I'm sorry, Ed, go ahead.
No, I think that's a great idea. I and it is really a pretty view, but if you're driving, you want to keep your eye on the road instead of looking at that view,
Well, I mean, if you did like railings or whatever, you could do like something that was very, sorry, I'm out of my porch. You could do like just a wooden railing for the top part and then do metal, like either those metal wire things or something, so that you're not really impeding the view very much.
Yeah, no, that's great. No, that's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Well, thank you.
All right. Anything else that jumped out at anybody?
I guess my question is, do you have, what kind of timetable are you on now in completion of this? What stage are you in?
I did, so this is what we started with, I think, back in March before the world fell apart. But we're kind of still on schedule. July, we had that we wouldn't have a meeting, but I mean, it's good that we're having one now. And so we can work on these last little edits and go over a semifinal draft in August if you'd like. And then in September, you guys can vote. And then maybe it can go to council in October and November.
Okay. So right now you feel like you're sort of on schedule.
I think so.
Okay, that's good.
Mhm.
And I got another question for you.
Okay.
If I remember right, wasn't there some discussion about whether or not something like the neighborhood, I can't remember if it had to do with council and commission, whether we were called a council or commission.
Yes. We have several committees and commissions and councils like that that I think should be mentioned in here somewhere. And I was thinking maybe in the, I mean, we could have just a section on that somewhere, or we could mention each one like in the goals and strategies. Make sure we hit each one. Like the Children's Commission, maybe in the, here where we have schools and things. I don't know.
I have a comment.
Mhm.
If you're not to interrupt this, Cynthia Mignano again.
Mhm.
I think that for the sake of ease of vision, I think we should have all the committees and the councils all under one heading instead of under each heading that they pertain to.
Okay.
Because otherwise you would have to search through all these different sections.
Mhm.
That's just my thought on it.
Mhm.
How do you put them all under one heading?
You could say the community organizations that help, or like that pertain to the town of James Island, and then you could list them all, like town council, like history commission, and all of that. You could list them all, and then maybe reference the sections in the comprehensive plan that they would pertain to. What do you think, Kristen?
Yeah, I was looking for where we have town hall. I can't remember where it's at now, but where we added, our new town hall right here. No, that's public libraries. Anyways, we could put it there, and we could also mention right here, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, we could add them all in one section. We could add another section somewhere.
Because I can't think of the proper wording right this very second, but it could be like community committees and or councils, something like that, and then you could just list everything, and then maybe with a brief description, and then like for whichever one, see section blah 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 that this
Mhm.
pertains to. Maybe. Sorry to give you more work.
No, they need to go in here, I think.
I do too.
Well, we might could include the dates that they, or the times that they meet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bill, that's a good idea. But sometimes if they change, you may want to reference, to check the site for the most up-to-date meeting times and days for any and all of these councils, because either way it's fine. It was just a thought.
I think maybe just listing them rather than giving a meeting time. Because everything you see out there now, even restaurants, they always put in subject to change. Ooh, look at our website, the current time and everything,
Okay.
But anyway, you could pull some of them right off of the town website, I think. I mean, that would get you a start. So with how the time ends, it'll be up to you.
Yeah, because once I got in here and Tuesdays run late, then you guys were gracious enough to change your meeting time for me. So if this does every 5 years, that may not be as accurate as we would like. I hope I'm still here serving the town in 5 years, but if not, then you may have some new person in here and you may revert your times. So it might, just for accuracy's sake, maybe just say reference the town website for times of meetings of committees and councils listed above. Something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Kristen, I know you're great at wording all that, so whatever you think.
I will work on that and send it out to everybody. I just remembered I didn't add the blessing boxes, I don't think, in here.
And what about the little free libraries? Do we want to list those too? Or no? Or that's just like nitpicky stuff?
Need to add, I don't think we mentioned James Allen Outreach. I can't remember if that's in here either, but that would be a good spot to go over all of those resources.
Oh, Kristen, you just came up with it. That would be the heading, would be resources, and then you could list all the committees, and then you could list James Allen Outreach, and you could list like the blessing boxes. That could be like the main category head for
Mhm.
that.
Okay.
Maybe include our repair care program. I don't know if this is the best place, but if we're, I guess, mentioning outreach would
Yeah,
be.
I agree.
Ashley, you read my mind.
I said it before you did.
You did.
That's a good idea. We'll add all those things somewhere. Okay. That's all I have.
That's all I have. I don't have any more to add.
All right. Any other comments before we move on?
God bless Kristen. She's doing an awesome job.
Oh, thanks. It's not just me. I got lots of help from everybody. Flannery has been a huge help, and Mark has helped out a lot. And everybody else on staff has been great.
Great.
Well, we do appreciate it and thank all of the staff for the hard work on putting this together. Is there any commissioner comments? I have no chair comments. The next planning commission meeting is scheduled for August 13th. This meeting of the James Allen Planning Commission stands adjourned.
Thank you.
Night, night.
Thank you all.
Night.
Good night, Joe. Have a good one.
You too.
You too. Night.